Hello everyone, it's me, obviously. I haven't made a video in a while, so I thought that I would. And I kind of just wanted to talk about doubts when it comes to transitioning. Now, I was 17 when I finally came to the conclusion that I was indeed trans. Now, I wasn't aware of that term. The only word that I sort of knew was transsexual. Rue, don't do that. Where was I? Yeah, the only word that I really knew was transsexual, and it was a word that I didn't really... It always kind of made me uncomfortable, because I guess I probably had quite a few kind of transphobic ideas at the time, but the only word I really knew other than that was sex change. So I initially Googled sex change, and I kind of found out things through the NHS website, stuff like that. And I wasn't quite sure at first if that was right for me. I definitely related to it, the information that I was reading. Although I did feel kind of sick when I read it, because I think, again, I suppose I had quite a lot of negative connotations about trans people, and I kind of thought, there's no way that can be me. Like, oh my god, this is disgusting. I know, like, really horrible things, which obviously I don't feel now, but at the time, that's how I felt. And I learned more about it. I realised that it wasn't really that big of a deal, to be honest. Like, I was still going to be the same person and everything, and I wasn't like mentally ill for feeling this way, and I wasn't disgusting, and I wasn't a freak. And actually, there are so many trans people. It's not like a rare occurrence. And the image that I had of trans people, which at the time was mainly a male assigned at birth, male at birth people, who were usually like still very masculine looking. The whole idea of, a man in a dress type thing. That's what I thought. I didn't really think that it could go the other way and be a female birthed person. A female bodied person going the other way. But I kind of, even when I kind of thought, yes, this is me, this is who I am. I've just got tattooed and I just slapped myself in it. Even when... Hang on. My lighting's a bit, like... This is... Anyway. Even when I kind of came to that conclusion and I realised who I was, I had a lot of doubts, because I didn't want people to... I didn't really want people to use male pronouns at first, because it actually made me really uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want female pronouns, but hearing somebody say he also felt really, really weird. And I guess that's just because I wasn't used to it. Like, even though I was so desperate to not be seen as a woman, being referred to as he was such a big thing, and it was so different, and I wasn't used to it, that I felt uncomfortable. And also at the same time, like, trying to ask people in my life to use male pronouns, I kind of felt like they were just humouring me, like, we'll just have to say it around him, because, you know what I mean, like, it wasn't like, I didn't feel like they took it, no, I did feel like they took it seriously, but it still felt kind of just forced. It always felt like, the elephant in the room, whether they used a female pronoun or a male pronoun, it was like, it just kind of felt like that. The same with my name as well. It took me a long time to kind of find the name that I wanted, and even when I used to go to a trans group, but I'd still go by my old name, because I didn't know what else to go by. But I kind of struggled with a name, because my identity was tied into my name. You know what I mean? Like, when I heard my old name, even though I didn't like it, my identity was tied into my name. Whereas when I started going by Max, it was like, I don't know who Max is. I mean, obviously, that's me, but I'd never gone by that name before, so it was like, hearing people refer to me as Max was just odd, because my identity wasn't linked to that name. I hope that makes sense anyway, but you know, that kind of gave me doubt, because like the stories that I'd always heard about from other trans people was, oh, I knew from when I was 6 years old that I wanted to be a boy. You know, I played with boys' toys, I was on the boys' team for sports, stuff like that. And you know, as soon as I found out I was trans, you know, I went by this name, I went by male pronouns, I got on hormones. You know, like this thing of like having no doubts whatsoever and just going for it type of thing. So then I was having doubts there. I was thinking, well, am I really trans? Am I really male? Am I just a girl who likes boy stuff? Am I just a tomboy? I mean, I'd always been labelled a tomboy for all my life. Am I still just a tomboy? You know, stuff like that. Like, because I wasn't like ready to just pound straight into it, and the fact that I was feeling uncomfortable with my new name, like, you know, should I really be transitioning? But I think most people have a lot of doubts, because it is, I mean, it is a big decision, and it takes a lot of thinking, it takes a lot of time. Obviously some people have trouble with it, like around family and friends, and you know, a lot of their doubts come from just how other people are going to react, and if it's worth it to go through all that hassle and be rejected. I didn't really have that worry. Like, I kind of did at first, more around my friends, I guess, because I kind of thought they'd maybe have similar opinions to what I did, of, oh, it's a bit weird and stuff like that. But everyone was like really cool with it, and I think loads of people were like, yeah, well, we saw this coming, kind of thing. The fact that my grandparents guessed was like, what? You know, they guessed that I was trans, they guessed that I wanted to be a boy, or, you know, so, I mean, so that just kind of goes to show how, I don't want to say obvious it was that I should be trans, because, you know, there are a lot of masculine presenting women who are happy as women, you know. But yeah, I think it was just that thing of, this is such a big life decision. Like, hormones, you know, you can always go off hormones. There will be a lot of changes that aren't reversible, like voice and stuff. But then, like surgery, you think, well, fuck. I mean, that's pretty big time. There's no going back from that. But yeah, I kind of had to force myself a little bit to just take that risk and go with it, and to kind of stop overthinking and overanalyzing everything, and to just go with the flow. You know, there was no need to rush into it. You know, I could take as much time as I wanted to explore things, and just because I had doubts and I wasn't sure if things were right, it didn't mean that I wasn't trans. You know, I think it's hard as well, especially when like a lot of people are coming out as non-binary now, and people realise that that is a choice. You know, you don't have to pick like one side over the other. You know, if you're happy living somewhere in the middle or somewhere completely out of gender, that's fine. I kind of do feel a lot of people think to themselves, oh well, I need to transition because I'm more on this side of the spectrum than on the side that I was born at. But, you know, like I say, yeah, gender's just kind of all over the place. You can do what you want with it, whatever. But if you have doubts, that's perfectly normal, that's perfectly fine. You know, I think it's quite healthy to have those doubts, to be honest. You just need to explore and find what's the most comfortable, really. I mean, at first it might feel really awkward, like it did with me, but you kind of just have to work through those feelings. You know, if you have people around you where you have a good kind of line of communication, that's great. You know, not everybody has that, but if you can find a space, like an online group or wherever, where you can talk openly about these things and stuff like that, then that's great. So, yeah, I've kind of talked a lot. As always, I had no idea if I've actually said what I originally wanted to say, because once I turn the camera on and I start talking, it's all white noise. It's all white noise until I watch it back. So, yeah, if you're having doubts, just don't worry about it. It's sort of the shit advice that you can get from me. Alright guys, until next time.